4 new Armaf fragrances from the Tag series. If you remember Tag Him by Armaf, which was an inspired version of Bleu de Chanel back in the days, so many years back. Now they have come up with 4 new releases from the same Tag series. So stay tuned to watch in detail. What's up guys, this is Yasser. Welcome back to my channel. You're watching Yasser's Fit Frack. Today I'm going to talk about 4 new releases from the Armaf Tag series. I'll quickly show you the presentation box. So this is how the presentation is. Armaf Tag, there is Armaf logo here, there are Armaf logo here as well. Sterling Parfums, and these are Eau de Parfum. All are 2024 batch, made in France, and they are Eau de Parfum 100 ml each. So I'm not going to show you the presentation box of each one of them. They just are different in colors. So one is red, there is beige color, rest all the details look same. And the 4th one is purple, which is a women's fragrance. I will tell you what clones they are, because generally Armaf brand on its own is known for making inspired versions of very popular fragrances. So let's start with the black one, which is Umo Nero. This is how the bottle looks. Okay, back is pretty plain. They have the similar magnetic cap. All of them look similar, so I'm not going to show you the presentation in detail. They just change in color. They have this Armaf inscribed here. So Umo Nero is an inspired version of YSL Tuxedo. So the first 20 to 30 minutes you won't be able to relate it to that, because it starts off with a dark, sexy, spicy pepper note along with violets in the opening. And then after 30 minutes is when the ambery and patchouli vibe starts kicking in with some vanilla to play that smoothing role. So that's what YSL Tuxedo is all about. And I can simply say that from all the Tuxedo clones that I've tried till date, this smells very refined, very appealing. Okay, if you like that sort of dark, mysterious patchouli, amber, vanilla to give it that creaminess in the dry down, very masculine smelling, this is definitely a must try in my opinion. Very beautifully done. I've tried the Tuxedo inspiration from Perfume Depot as well, but that does not have that amber and vanilla so evident. That has bergamot and patchouli more with a touch of amber, and I don't get the vanilla there, which is why I suggested that for summers. Now I wouldn't suggest this for summers, because that take is slightly different. It's more on the patchouli dominant side, and it goes quite well in the summers. I'm talking about Perfume Depot inspiration. But if you ask me which is more closer to the original from the basis of the notes breakdown of the original, I would say this one is much better than that. This smells more richer, more mysterious, more dark because of that amber, patchouli and that vanilla in the base playing around. So in my eyes, this smells a lot better than the other inspirations that I've tried. So if you like such dark, sexy, masculine sort of fragrance, definitely try this one. Performance is really nice. 3 hours of projection is what I got with this one, and 9 to 10 hours of lasting. So that was inspired version of YSL Tuxedo. Let's go to the second one, which is called as Dona Ter from the Armaf Tag series. Now when you look at the name, it might remind you of Terra de Hermes, but it is not. Officially this is an inspired version of Paris, but I haven't smelled that, to be honest, so I do not know how Chanel Paris smell like. But to me, in the dry down, this is somewhere related to Terra de Hermes, but without that vetiver dominance. So it was more of an amber dominant Terra de Hermes. So though it is officially called as a women's fragrance, I don't think I would like to call this as a women's fragrance, because formulation wise I did not see anything feminine about it. So it starts off with a nice citrus, there is saffron, hints of rose, and has a nice patchouli and amber in the base. You might feel that vetiver feel because of that amber dominance, and because of that reminders you get of Terre d'Hermes, but it's not quite evident. Okay, so it's an amber dominant Terre d'Hermes, to put it in short, and I'm calling it that way because I don't want you to think that this smells anything like a women's fragrance. It does not, guys. I do not know how Chanel Paris smell like, but officially this is an inspired version of Chanel Paris. But to me, this is a 50-60% take on Terre d'Hermes with a more dominant amber note. So that's how I would put it across. So in case you like that sort of fragrance, you still can check this one out. The performance was again great here. 3 hours of projection and 9 hours of lasting with this one as well. Coming to the next one, very deep red, Umo Rosso from the Tack series. Okay, very tacky design and color. And this is an inspired version of Invictus Victory Elixir. Okay, if you have smelled the original, this is quite closer to that. So I would say about 85%. It definitely has that Invictus DNA. Smells very appealing to the nose, but among all the other 4, this is not the best in performance, but it smells the best, guys. If you're somebody who's looking for compliments, mass appealing sort of fragrance, I would highly recommend this one. This project's about 1.5 hours and lasted about 6 hours on my skin, but it smells very, very appealing because Invictus DNA is known for that appealing factor, and it definitely has that character here with more amped up patchouli and tonka in the base. Starts off with a bit of cardamom as well, along with some black pepper note. So Invictus DNA with hints of cardamom and black pepper in the opening. Then in the base you get patchouli, vanilla and tonka. Overall a very beautiful fragrance, very mass appealing, easy to get compliments, but it's not the best performance. So indoors is what I would suggest this one, because for 1.5 hours of projection and 6 hours of lasting, this is what you can go for indoors. It's still decent. I'm comparing the performance with the other 3, and that's why I say it's not as good as the other 3, but otherwise a decent performance for that kind of DNA. So coming to the last one, like I said, this is Dona Colorata. Purple color indicates obviously a women's fragrance, and this is an inspired version of YSL Libre, which is very, very popular, and it smells really nice. Starts off with orange blackcurrant note in the opening, and then in the mid and base you get jasmine, orange blossom and a bit of lavender. In the base you get vanilla and musk. So overall a very beautiful fragrance, definitely smells feminine, and it is about 85% closer to Libre from Yves Saint Laurent. So definitely check this one out if you want to give somebody a beautiful, sexy, appealing women's fragrance. The performance is great here, guys. 2 hours of evident projection. It can project for about 2.5 hours as well, and it lasted easily 8 hours. So beautiful fragrance, very appealing, sexy woman's fragrance. I would definitely recommend this one. Now all of these, I think they have MRP as 3.5 and some of them as 2,600. So I'll give you the purchase options in the video description box. They are from the official Armaf website, which is from Multi Imports, which is a very old and popular importers of Armaf from many, many years. So Multi Imports is something which you would have heard if you are already into fragrance buying. So this is from them, and you can get these in their official website. So I'll give you all the links in the video description box if you're interested in buying, so you can definitely check them out. So that's about it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in case you've tried this. Comment down in the comment section. See you next time soon. Keep sharing the videos. Cheers.